watch fans, this is Anders here on Time and Crown channel. Today I'm happy to introduce you to the brand new Luminox Pacific Diver Automatic. This is Luminox as a brand's venture into automatic dive watches. The brand are very well known for their quartz, sports and dive watches, and they are very well known for watches that are very luminous. But now they released an automatic dive watch and I bought one, so this is my own watch. This is not sponsored in any way. It comes in this plastic case, almost kind of a pelican case, with the Luminox logo, Swiss made. You open and inside you find the watch. This watch comes in 3 different versions. The black one here on the rubber strap. Then you can get a white one with a fully lumed white dial. And then you can get a blue version, just like the black, but it's in blue. And here we have the watch up and close. As you can see, it's a typical tool dive watch. It's an automatic watch. It has a ceramic dial and it has a ceramic bezel insert. It can also be bought on a stainless steel bracelet. I opted for the rubber strap. So let's just have an overview of the watch here. It is made in 316L stainless steel. It is finished in this almost kind of satin finished brushing. Then on the chamfering here, on this extremity of the case and the locks, you find polished surfaces. The rubber strap has Luminox on it, and you get a deploying clasp with a 2 push button release and a fold over release. It is milled and 3 micro adjustments. It has a see-through case back where you can see the Sellita SW200 movement. So the Swiss made movement inside of this new Luminox diver is a tried and tested Sellita SW200 automatic movement. It beats at 28,800 revolutions per hour and it has 38 hours of power reserve. This movement inside of this watch is very accurate. I'll show you the accuracy just in a few minutes. So the watch is not lumed with typical super luminova. Instead you have tritium tubes inside of the hands. This lume pip here, or tritium pip at 12 o'clock, and then also all the way around the dial here. We'll also have a look at the lume a little bit later. The dial is kept quite simple with the writing and the logo, just the Luminox logo below 12 o'clock. Automatic 200 meters of water resistance, Swiss made, and then the detail with the T25. That is something you see on a lot of older Rolex watches, for example. And this indicates that it's tritium lume and it has a lifetime of 25 years. After 25 years, it will most probably stop glowing. So the bezel insert is ceramic. It has a 120 click unidirectional bezel. It is very easy to grip because of the coin edging here, and you can also grip the lume pip here at 12 o'clock. Very easy to turn, no play, very well made. So I will say that the clicks are good, but they are not luxurious in any way. I also really like the detail with the dial, which is this wave pattern dial. Looks really good. It is ceramic. And you see the color matched date window here. That is something I really do enjoy with this watch, that the attention to detail is pretty good. So let's talk about the size. It is 42.2 millimeters in diameter, measuring from this point to this point. You get 47 from side to side. You get a really nice lock to lock distance from such a big watch of only 49 millimeters. Then you get a height of 13 millimeters with the completely flat sapphire crystal you see here. And then you get a lock opening of 24 millimeters. The rubber strap, it does taper down to 22 millimeters, so you get a little bit of taper. That is nice because a lock opening for this size of watch of 24 millimeters is quite big. Sign screw down crown. So this watch is priced at around $1,300 US, so it's not a very inexpensive watch, but it's still placed way below Oris and Tag Heuer and Longines, and I would imagine that these watch brands are the biggest competition towards the new Luminox Pacific Diver Automatic. And just to make it clear, the hour markings with 12 and 6 in numerals are not filled with lume, they are just kept white for legibility. The hands are syringe style hands. I think it's a nice choice. You don't get any Rolex or Omega ripoff with the hands on this watch. I do like the easy readability of the time because it's this syringe design. And with the red tip on the second hand, you get a little bit of color splash on the dial. The crown measures 7 millimeters. And as promised a little bit earlier in this video, let's have a look at the accuracy, and I'm hugely impressed with the accuracy. So I get between +3 and 4 seconds per day, and I get 0 beat error. This is an extremely healthy movement. They don't state anywhere that they regulate these movements from Sellita. They are not COSC certified, but this movement, it performs within COSC specifications, so I'm very, very happy with the overall quality, the health, and the accuracy of the movement inside of this Luminox watch. And of course also the lume. So this is not typical lume, as I mentioned before. This is tritium. It's an older way of doing it. We know for Rolex used to use tritium tubes on their watches, and a brand that is very famous for using tritium as the luminous material are ball watches. So it was one of the details about this watch that made me buy it, because I thought it was a real cool thing to use these tritium tubes. On camera and on picture it's quite hard to pick up, but in real situations in darkness they really glow. And of course the weight. 120 grams on a rubber strap. On my 17 centimeter wrist circumference, I think it wears well. It wears really big. But because it is quite slim and they kept the sapphire crystal completely flat, it does wear a little bit smaller than its size, in my opinion. And that is probably because they kept the locks very short and the lock distance of only 49 millimeters. It could easily have been 51 or 52. You do get a lot of dial, and this part of the case just makes the case look a little bit bigger. But as a summer sports watch for a wrist of maybe 16 centimeters and upwards, I think this is an interesting choice if you want something different in your collection. Now, in my opinion, there's no denying that the dial is definitely inspired by Omega, the Omega Seamaster, the 2018 iteration of the Seamaster. You can see that they kind of look like the same, and I would say that the Luminox Pacific Diver Automatic is a nice alternative if you want to pay 4 times less than you would have to pay for an Omega Seamaster. This is around $4,500 US, and this is around $1,200 to $1,300 US. I actually got 12% off from a Spanish online dealer, so I paid just a little more than $1,100 US for this Luminox watch. And the size comparison with the new Cetina DS Super PH 1000 dive watch, you can see, although the Cetina is 43.5 millimeters big, the Luminox, it seems bigger, and I think it actually wears bigger on my wrist as well. So just be aware that it is a big watch and it wears quite big. Now my 3 biggest pluses and my 3 biggest minuses. Let's start with the negatives. So I really do not like the 24mm lock opening here. I think it's simply too much for a watch of this size. Why not keep it to 22? It would make the watch look much better in my opinion, and I'm definitely going to change the strap for another strap at some point, because I can maybe work around this with a strap that tapers much more than from 24 to 22, maybe from 24 to 20 or 18. Another little gripe is that although it's always nice to have a see-through case back, this is very boring. Of course, they did use a customary rotor, but they did nothing whatsoever with the movement. I'm happy because the movement in this particular watch is very accurate and very healthy. That's the most important thing, but they could have done a lot more with the finishing, or maybe just a more interesting rotor. And then my last biggest negative point of this watch is definitely the clasp. It is secure with the fold over and the 2 push button, and you get 3 micro adjustments, but it feels very cheap. And also the strap, it's a bit of an annoyance that you have to cut off parts. So if you're ever going to sell this watch, you'd actually make sure that the buyer has the same wrist size or smaller wrist size than you. Why not use a system where you don't have to cut the strap, but you can just tuck in the strap under the buckle? Now my 3 biggest pluses. I think the overall layout and quality of the watch is really good for the price. I really do like the wave dial and the tritium tubes, although they are very inspired by Ball and Omega, of course. My second thing is that although the bezel action doesn't feel super refined, it is very accurate and very secure. And my third biggest plus is that although this is inspired by other watches, I think the overall package is very much Luminox. I think they did something that is very much its own with the case design and the overall look of this watch. So if you want a wave pattern dial, if you want a modern style dive watch but you don't want to pay a fortune, this could be a nice option for you, but you need kind of a big wrist to wear this watch. And again, I must say it is also kind of an alternative to the Omega Seamaster Diver 300. I hope you enjoyed the full review of this new Luminox Pacific Diver Automatic. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, leave a comment down below and give this video a like. It is a big help. Thanks for watching. Bye.